Hey, what's up, nerds? It's Paul at Radio Free Hammer Hall. Today I thought I would do a little bit of a fun one, figuring out. Whoa, just dropped some shit. Okay. Just thought we would figure out what heroes out of the Slaves to Darkness are the best targets for the Eye of the Gods who wants to try and achieve Dark Apotheosis. So let's quickly look at the rules for this in the new Battle Tome. Uh, Number one, you choose one of the heroes in your list at the beginning of the game to gain the Eye of the Gods. Then, every time they fight or they are contesting an objective wholly outside of your territory at the end of one of your turns, they gain D3 at Dark Apotheosis points. There is also Favorite of the Pantheon, one of your heroic traits that gives you 3 Dark Apotheosis points at the beginning of the game, or Deathmonger, which lets you fight twice once per game. Either of those getting you some additional Dark Apotheosis points. Once you get up to 8 points, then one of two things will happen. Either that unit will heal fully and gain a 5-up ward for the rest of the game, or they will transform into a Demon Prince, keeping their enhancements and pledge if applicable. Now, a Demon Prince is worth 290 points, so you're kind of gaining here. You're moving on up the points ladder. You're effectively putting more points into your army when you make that upgrade. So that is the basics of how Dark Apotheosis works. You're potentially going to be gaining on that Demon Prince and gaining some abilities, because that's a different war scroll from everything else you have, and potentially gaining some interesting things with any enhancements that are present. So, who are our possible targets? We've got our Chaos Lord on foot, on Karkadrak, on Demonic Mount, our Exalted Hero of Chaos, which can also be included as a Ruinous Champion, aka a bonus hero, so he doesn't necessarily take up a slot, adding a drop to your army. Chaos Sorcerer Lord, a Dark Oath Chieftain, who is an Oath Sworn, same deal as Exalted Hero of Chaos being a Ruinous Champion. Then a Dark Oath Chieftain on War Steed, and a Dark Oath War Queen. You can see down here, I've listed out the points for all of these. They are ranging from 100 points up to 230 points. So for all of these, moving up to a Demon Prince is gaining you between 60 and 190 points when you're getting those upgrades. Now, it depends here on what your value looks like, what all the different abilities are that are coming along with this. Something like your Exalted Hero of Chaos, he is just going to be pretty much just a fighty hero. So moving him up to a Demon Prince, you're gaining 190 points in your list and a whole lot of additional abilities. But getting him there to his Dark Apotheosis is certainly going to be a bit of a challenge. So look at our options based on value here. I've ranked these based on how many points you're gaining, so to speak, when you transform into a Demon Prince. Your Chaos Lord and Exalted Hero of Chaos, you're both starting off at 100 points. Dark Oath Chieftain and Chaos Sorcerer Lord and Dark Oath War Queen closely behind, and then we start moving on up to some less value with the Chieftain on War Steed, Lord on Demonic Mount, and finally your Lord on Karkadrak, where you're only gaining 60 points. And I haven't done the math out on the scrolls yet, which I probably should have done before doing this video, but you're potentially gaining some additional damage by upgrading that into a Demon Prince. Also, your Chaos Lord on Karkadrak has a once per game ability on his War Scroll, so once you've blown that, you've used a lot of his value already, and you can then transform him into a Demon Prince to get some additional abilities there, while still retaining the value that you got from that Lord on Karkadrak. Similarly, the Lord on Demonic Mount and the Chaos Lord, I don't know how many times you're reasonably going to be able to get charges off to get benefit out of their abilities. So once you blow those once, you may not really have much of an opportunity to do it again. So some interesting value propositions here. This is just sheer value in your upgrade. This is not, and that's just based on points. It's not talking about the relative value of the War Scrolls. Theoretically, they should be the same kind of comparable difference, um, but that's sort of up to you to say whether or not you think it is better abilities and worth making that transformation into a Demon Prince. The next factor that we have to look at here is speed of this, because that's going to get you into combat faster to gain Dark Apotheosis points, and it's going to get you up the field faster to contest objectives that are outside of your territory to gain Dark Apotheosis points. Here we have a bunch at a 5-inch move: your Chaos Lord, your Sorcerer Lord, Exalted Hero of Chaos, your Chieftain, and your War Queen. All of those are clocking in at 5-inch movement. All of these are your cheapest options, but you're really kind of sacrificing, getting more value out of this for, uh, making it much harder to do. 9-inch move, you got your Chaos Lord on Karkadrak. He is your most expensive option value-wise, but he's going to be pretty good at getting across the board, getting into combat, and doing some damage in combat, and then also having a special ability that he uses and moving around the board pretty effectively at 9-inch movement. 10-inch move, your Chaos Lord on Demonic Mount, and then finally your Dark Oath Chieftain on War Steed is your fastest option at 12 inches. None of these guys fly. None of these guys have additional abilities to get like teleported around the board, other than potentially marking them Zinch. Get a little bit of teleport action, but that is what we got here. Finally, we have survivability. You're going to want these heroes to be able to survive long enough to get those Dark Apotheosis points up to 8 and transform into a Demon Prince or otherwise get upgraded. Basically, here we're looking at the health value and the save of those units and how much damage they can theoretically absorb before being slain. So this is basically their odds of surviving until they've got those 8 Dark Apotheosis points. You'll see your mounted guys are generally going to be where your greater value is. Your Chieftain and your War Queen are definitely your lowest because they're rocking a 5-up save on 5 wounds. Your Chaos Lord on Karkadrak being your best overall option for survivability at 10 health and a 3-up save. So he's going to be able to absorb 30 damage before he is slain and no longer able to catch the gaze of the gods. So finally, just kind of ranking these out so you can get some ideas of what your best options are in each of these categories and how you might mix and match this to get what you think are best. So top 3 in each category. For overall cost, you're looking at your Chaos Lord, your Exalted Hero of Chaos, and your Dark Oath Chieftain, all being very cost effective, but in doing so, they are, you're getting the least for them. You're going to get a huge upgrade in points, adding a lot of points to your list. Almost 10% increase in the points in your list by being able to transform those guys, but it's going to be a challenge to get there just because of their overall cost, and with that, the abilities that they have to get there. Speed, we've got your Dark Oath Chieftain on War Steed, and then your Chaos Lord on Demonic Mount, and Chaos Lord on Karkadrak. All 3 of these are just the 3 options that move more than 5 inches. I think all of those are decent options, but you'll notice none of these cross over with your cost effectiveness. So they're all the more expensive options when you're looking at the speed to get across, to potentially be better at contesting objectives and getting in combat more quickly. Then for survivability, you got your Chaos Lord on Karkadrak, Chaos Lord on Demonic Mount, ranked 1 and 2 here, that are significantly more survivable than most of the rest of your options. Then we've got a tie between the Chaos Lord on foot and the Exalted Hero of Chaos in 3rd place. So interesting things to note here. Where the crossover lies. Your most survivable units, you've got two that are crossing over with being the fastest. And then your tie for third, that is crossing over with being the cheapest options. So you have some interesting options here. All of this, I think, is to say in summation, though, that I think going for a demon prince in this way is like, it's a meme. This isn't like a thing that you're really gonna want to try and do on purpose other than for like narrative reasons. Typically your guy getting the eye of the gods is, if you have anyone at all that's even eligible to be targeted in your list, it's probably just going to be the one guy that's eligible anyway, and you're having them in your list for other reasons. You just want whatever abilities that they have, what they unlock in their regiments, etc. And this is just sort of a kicker to it. So I just thought this was a fun little exercise to go through. I think, just running an Exalted Hero of Chaos and like marking him corn and running like a maniac across the board and trying to kill everything and contest objectives would be super fun. And getting him to turn into a Demon Prince, I just kind of have always loved the Exalted Hero of Chaos. Chaos Lord on Demonic Mount, I think, is overall a pretty decent option. 170 points isn't a crazy cost for him. He's probably one that you're going to be ending up with pretty frequently. Anywho, that's going to be it for now. This was just a little bit of fun, and I will talk to y'all later.